Today I'm going to be talking about my little homebrew creation, the Corrupted Beast. I used him in my last campaign. Towards the end, actually, they were going through the cursed land of Lornmire. And along the way, from the beginning of this cursed land to the end, I needed to fill in some things that they would encounter along the way, and this seemed like a good fit. The model itself, the mini, was from the board game Hate, which I cannot recommend enough. It has amazing miniatures. I picked mine up off of Amazon. I forget how much it was at the time. I think the price has gone up, but totally worth it. Tons and tons of good minis, and what I like about that board game is that it has bigger minis too, like a whole box of like larger sized bad guys. This guy, probably one of my favorite out of the whole bunch. He's just so mutated and gnarly looking. He was a lot of fun to paint. But yeah, as a monster, the Corrupted Beast, I would recommend that when I did it, basically most of my campaign I had 3 players that I was DMing, and at this point they were level 16 or 17, which I thought 3 versus 1, pretty gnarly beast with some legendary actions. I thought it'd be at least an interesting fight. I set it in like this kind of decaying forest where, it's very misty and foggy. The trees, I described the bark as being gnarled and cracked, and just set the ambience leading up to the fight, that they would hear noises, that thing, trying to just get them in the mood. And they actually found like a little open clearing in the forest where there was like an old ruin, and when the one player touched it, he was able to kind of almost see into the past and able to ask one question that these ancient elves could answer him. It was cool. And then immediately after that is when the Corrupted Beast discovered them and attacked. But, just flavor it however you want. In my situation, so I had 3 players pretty much the whole campaign, but then towards the end, 2 other friends wanted to join in, which was great. But they kind of cheesed this monster pretty hard. So once there was 5 players versus 1 beast, the one guy came in as a ranger, kind of to make up for him not being in most of the campaign, to kind of make his character a little more powerful. I gave him this pretty intense magic longbow, and he jumps out of the forest and shoots, and he just nat 20 right off the bat, just kind of totally putting a nice big chink into the hide of this beast. And then everybody else was rolling hot. They just basically encircled the thing and just wailed on it until it was dead. It really wasn't much of a fight. So if I would run this again, I would definitely give it some minions just to add some chaos into the fight, and also keep the players from just surrounding it. That, or maybe put in some kind of difficult terrain that the beast can go through, but the players have a hard time with. Get creative with it. Overall, though, I think the Corrupted Beast is pretty fun. It has vulnerability to thunder, resistance to bludgeoning, necrotic, slashing, immune to poison, and psychic. It can't be blinded, it can't be charmed, and it can't be frightened. Its legendary action is kind of unique. It lets out a scream, and it can deal some, decent psychic damage, and it also causes anybody that fails the save to lose their reaction. And in my case, we had a Rune Knight fighter, and that was kind of cool, because the Rune Knight uses a lot of its reactions to do things like try and incapacitate the creature and that sort of thing. So just a little flavor. Not too many monsters, I feel like, cause you to lose your reaction. Magic resistance. Another thing, it's like enraged all the time. I figured just because it's this gnarly beast that it's like always in pain, like it's basically just tortured. So it's always raging, which then reduces physical damage against it by 5 points every attack that hits. But overall, yeah, armor class 19, so it's a pretty hefty boy. But yeah, lots of fun ways to incorporate it in your game. If you decide to use it, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you use it in your game, what your players do, how they react, if it, lasts longer than it did for me. But yeah, just a fun little one. I hope to do some more of these videos where I can kind of, give back to the D&D community and just hopefully inspire some other people along the way. But yeah, I appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you later.